goes a little something like this.
Was a grizzled young vet, he's a grizzled young vet. He's worked so many towns that sometimes he forgets.
Doesn't matter if he's curtain jerking or the main event.
Cause he's a grizzled young vet, he's a grizzled young vet.
He's worked so many towns that sometimes he forgets. Doesn't matter if he's curtain jerking or the main event. Cause he's a grizzled young vet, he's a grizzled young vet. The house was so packed that he thought it would blow, cause he had a ton of color down in Puerto Rico. He's a grizzled.
And we're live, ladies, gents, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome to the 56th edition of Kayfabe Corner, where I, JPO, Jordan Purcell, and sit down with someone involved in the world of professional wrestling. This time today, we don't have a professional wrestler, but we do have a man behind the mic, the voices of some companies. He is Corey C4, also a good friend of mine. Corey, how are you?
I'm doing good, Jordan. I miss you.
Why you gotta start all emotional like that, Corey?
No, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. I've been waiting to do this for a bit, so I'm glad you had me on. Thank you.
Absolutely. And the first question is literally just simply that. How are you doing emotionally, physically? How is Corey today?
Corey's doing pretty good today. We spoke a little bit before we started here. I had a little bit of turmoil with my fiance, had a health issue, and it's kind of led us to changing our diet up. And I've been losing a little weight, feeling a little better. And so I'm doing pretty good right now, getting ready for coming back to Real Pro on the 2nd of May.
Yes, sir. Only a couple of weeks away. Resurrection over Real Pro. Riverside Community Center, Fort Myers, Florida, Tuesday, May the 2nd. It's right, Tuesday. Yeah. Have some fun on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Does that mean less Fago?
That means no soda. I had a Coke. I had a Coke yesterday for the first.
That's right. I saw that.
That was the first soda I've had in almost a month. So it's been about 3 weeks. So yeah. So no soda. Strictly water.
Sorry, ICP. You're making less money now.
Yeah.
Where does the origin of pro wrestling come to Corey? And I literally mean the origin. Where do you first started watching the sport?
I was 5 or 6, and I was with my family. We went to a friend of the family's house, and they had NWA TV on. And the very first thing I ever saw was the Road Warriors trying to dig out Dusty Rhodes' eye with their spike. So that was my introduction to pro wrestling. It was very violent, very bloody, and I've never looked back since.
Who was the number one guy for the little Corey growing up?
I started out as a Hulkamaniac, like a lot of little ones did back in the 80s. But by the time I was about 8 or 9, I was hooked on the Hitman, and Bret Hart made me a diehard. He made me appreciate professional wrestling more than a big spectacle, which it is, and of course that's part of it. But Bret really maybe grounded it a bit for me, and so he was the one who really sold it for me for the rest of my life.
I mean, you would have fought growing up. I would have been the Shawn Michaels kid. You would have been the Bret Hart kid.
We fight all the time as adults, though. So
that's very true. So we can still fight because Shawn is better.
Oh, come
on. So where does the origins of do you remember your first live show, just in general as a fan?
The first time I ever went to a show was in 1991, I want to say, in Lee County at the Lee Civic Center. And it was just before WrestleMania 7. And so it was, they were doing a TV taping, like they were about a bunch of Wrestling Challenge and Superstars and all that. And so I got to see like the Undertaker wrestle 4 times. I got to see the Ultimate Warrior come out 3 times. And then the main event was Hogan and then Slaughter for the title. That of course, ended up in what Bret calls the schmoz.
Shenanigans?
Yeah, shenanigans, because they had to do it at the pay-per-view, of course. But it was great. That was the very first experience I ever had at a live wrestling show. Was WWF.
Nice. When do you start attending independent wrestling?
I think the very first experience I ever had with an indie wrestling show, I was about 12. And the gentleman I'm about to bring up, Gator B. Long, He was there. He was putting on the show, and him and Greg Valentine won the tag titles for his promotion that night. And that was the first time I ever really got to be in an intimate setting of professional wrestling, which is why I love indie wrestling, because it's intimate and everybody's there and everybody feels like they're even more a part of it than you would in a big stadium. So that really bit me. As an adult, one of the very first things I did as soon as I found out about it was go to the old New Era wrestling that you were a part of for a little bit. And
a little bit. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I'm being anyway. New Era was the first local promotion that I ever was invested in, and then of course that has evolved into Real Pro.
So how do you start getting your first like kind of foot in the door as far as like actually being involved? Well, how was that? How'd that happen?
You're just fishing? Are you fishing there, Jordan?
I gotta ask the questions, even if I know the answers. I have to ask the questions.
True. You are the host. That's right. I get it. Well, it's because of a gentleman named Jordan Pierce Owens, who I had known from afar. We'd known each other. We'd talked a few times, but we'd never really, had a conversation really until the night I was like, "Hey, why don't you put me on commentary?" And you're like, "All right," and I'm like, "Really?" And so I was like, "Oh, okay." So I kind of dove in head first. And what was the first one we called? Was it the women's title match? I think it was the women's title match. It was.
You might know better. You might know better than me. I've had a lot of partners before you.
Yeah. But I'm your favorite, right?
Yes. You're my main boo. You are my main boo.
So I think it was a women's title match that I commentated on first, I believe.
Do you remember who? Are we talking?
It was
Lena, Roxy.
Yeah, it was Lena, and I want to say
Lexi?
she went against Raven.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember her last name off the top of my head, but
Raven Knight.
Raven Knight, that's it. Yeah, I think it was between Alina and Raven Knight is what I think it was. That same night I also did commentary with Ruby Flyer on another match that I can't recall right now, but that was the first night that I did, and it was all thanks to you.
Oh, try to see if I can maybe find it.
But it was fun. I didn't have any experience outside of pretending to call matches at home. I'd had a podcast for a bit, and
if that is the match, it is the Florida Classic Cup from September of 2019.
That's exactly what it was then. Yeah. Yep, that's what it was. Which is kind of funny because that beautiful cup that my main man Ray Zion has right now.
Yes.
is very nice, and I think you and I have a little bit of personal taste that is good. And
this is year one where Alex Todd would win it, and so that was your debut. Yes.
I'm sorry, I rolled on it. I can't stop myself from putting myself and my friends over. You know that, Jordan.
No, it's wonderful. No, I was trying to remember. I was like, I don't even remember that match, but I was like, okay, yeah, that match did happen. Sweet. A lot of matches. I was actually just looking at several matches. I was like, that happened? Sweet.
And since, I look back and I've been, because I was not too long ago, I was looking to see how much, how many matches I've done now, because that was 2019. It's been a while now. I mean, I know 2020, there wasn't a whole lot going on then, but I've called over 100 something matches now since then. So that's pretty
sure. Cool. Did you ever know my side of the story of how you began?
I did not know. You've never told me this. I'd like to hear it, though.
So I know you had kind of hinted at it, and Slim had hinted at it, too. Mm-hmm. So I kind of was like, well, Slim's doing us a real favor. I'll give his buddy a chance. It's one of those things you never know.
Exactly.
Because I'd done it before where it was like, okay, a very similar situation where another sound guy was like, can my son ring announce? And not being mean, but he wasn't good. Right. So you never know, how people are gonna do. So it's kind of like, all right, we'll see how Corey does. And it went beyond expectations, and has been great since. So it was a good decision.
That's awesome. I'm glad that you're happy with the decision, because so am
absolutely. I. No, absolutely. Like I said, I mean, we pretty much started rolling since then, man. I mean, it was literally like, hey, let's try a couple matches, and then it was all right. Let's just
do it.
Let's go.
Yeah. been fantastic.
So you remember the first match here? We always like to talk about gimmicks. I guess this extends outside of wrestling, though. Where does C4 come from?
Oh boy, C4 has been a part of my name for over 20 years now. I think I was first bestowed the name in 2000, maybe, from some friends of mine. I was a rather rambunctious young man, and I was prone to kind of popping off a bit here and there. And so if people were kind of pushing me wrong or if things weren't going quite right, I would kind of get pretty pissed and blow up. And so people are like, man, you're like a stick of C4. You're like a brick of C4. And I'm like, oh, cool. My name starts with C. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. So that's how it happened. And it just stuck. And then I made it a part of every kind of entertainment venture that I've done, whether it's been music or now pro wrestling. I've been C4. I've been Corey C4 for less time than I was just C4, but then I saw that there were so many goddamn C4s in wrestling. I was like, all right, I gotta make a difference a little bit here. So I went with Corey.
Oh, so you were just C4 at certain points?
Yeah, I was just C4 for years. Yeah, Corey C4 was a decision on my part just before I started working with you guys. It was originally going to be for my music that I was making as well. I just figured that it was better than having to be like, no, I'm not that C4. No, I'm not that C4. So.
I know you've stepped outside of Real Pro as well. Do you enjoy working with other companies? I know you've done Tampa Bay and Twisted. I don't know if there's anything else. I can't remember.
I haven't been able to do anybody else other than that yet, but I love the Twisted Wrestling Showcase. That was a lot of fun. You and I did that. That was a blast. And Tampa Bay Pro is always just one of the aces of the indie scene in here in Florida, and I love Dax, and I'm always very, very happy when Dax asks me to come and be a part of his show, because it's a lot of fun, great professional environment, and I just really love doing it. So it's been great, and I've enjoyed it every time, and I look forward to going back and doing it again sometime. Call me Dax.
Call him. Do you remember some of your favorite matches you've called from any company?
Man, like you said, there's been so many now, but I can think of a few, I'm sure. Recently, the match that I had the most genuine pop of my entire young commentary career was not the last one, but the Real Pro show before the last Real Pro show. Was when Sean Hawley won the Top Crown title. Blew my fucking mind, man. I was like, didn't see it coming at all, and which is great, which is what I love. I like that about being a commentator. I don't really want to know too much. I want the genuine reaction. I want the crowd, the people who are watching. I want them to kind of be feeling the same way I am. So that was great. I loved calling that. The match was great in itself, but the win in that moment was really cool, and I'll always remember it. I loved we did the tag team ladder match when was that, 2021?
Yeah, talking
with Gifted and Booyah Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, American Shawn again.
Yeah. That was a fantastic match. And
the match of the year that year.
Yeah, it was, and it deserved it too because it was so awesome. Man, there's so much good wrestling that comes through, and good wrestlers and performers who come through our company and Tampa Bay that if I were to just narrow it down, it'd kind of do a disservice to so many great performers. And I know that sounds like kind of like a cop-out, but it's partly because I have a bad memory because I'm old, and then the other one is because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because they're wrestlers, and you know how it goes.
Well, that's silly. You already named 2 matches, so everyone's whose match you didn't name.
Yeah. Oh, you could remember those guys. Yeah. You could remember. Oh, and every House of Spades match I've ever seen. Damn. Those were the ones I like calling the most.
Is there anyone who you're a fan of, unlike the indie scene, that you haven't called a match where you're like, oh damn, I'd love to call that person's match, or even if it's somebody maybe you've only done like one match of,
That's That's a good question. I would like to, but I want to commentate as many places and matches as I can. But I would really love to do either something for. Well, I guess that would be just asking about promotion or for a match, an actual wrestler. I would love to commentate an Effie match. I think Effie would be awesome to commentate a match for, just because it's something I've every time I watch them, I got to think of how to express, and so having that moment being on commentary would be interesting to me because I really enjoy the performance and I get lost in it so much that I tend to babble like I am now. So I wonder if that would be the case in the moment of the commentary. So, but he's at least won the matches of Effie. But I just there's you want to work with a lot of fun people and you want to watch great matches. So you gotta kind of think of the places that those things are happening, like MLW or GCW or any of the other indies in Florida. Oh God, I'm having a brain fart right now. Look what you've done to me.
How did I get in trouble for asking questions?
No, it's just so much. There's so much in Florida, especially. And that I'd love to get involved with.
Well, there was a Florida 100, which you voted on, right?
There was. I did vote on that. I was a part of that. So like anybody still mad about it, you could talk to me too, I guess.
No, I just always like to point that out. See, I wasn't alone, I swear.
It wasn't just Jordan. No, there were other people involved. Settle down.
I have a very important question for you.
Okay.
So I want a very serious answer.
Oh, okay.
All right. Have you seen any good movies lately?
I watched Cocaine Bear the other day.
Okay, on the cock. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It was fun. It was about what I was expecting. You know, when you see something called Cocaine Bear, you're like, okay, well, there's only a couple of ways they could really go with this, and they went the way I thought they would. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Top 10 of the year so far.
Top 10 of the year. So, man, I'm not like you, man. I can't just pull things out like that.
Well, you got to keep track on Letterboxd, man. Join Letterboxd. Join the community.
I have enjoyed. Man, see, I can't even tell if some of the things that I like are from this year or from last year now.
No. Just movies recently to you.
Just in general. I got you.
Right. It has to be
just things that I've seen recently.
Yeah.
Okay. I watched that, and I watched. We watched my fiance Summer and I, who you know very well. You know Summer. Summer's a wonderful lady. She's our ring lady, our ring bell, our bell girl at Real Pro, and our ticket, our raffle lady.
Yes.
Yeah, she's the best. But we watched Cocaine Bear the other day, and we watched a scary movie called The Monster. Not Monster from not the Eileen Wuornos thing, but it's called The Monster. I don't think it was a foreign film, but it was good. It was interesting.
You don't think it was?
I can't. Well, no, I don't think it was. What I mean was I don't think it was subtitled foreign. Like it might have been made. I can't remember where it was made as well.
How do you not know if it was subtitled? You're like I don't think I remember
because there was no subtitles. I'm just saying I don't know where the hell it was made, Jordan. I'm trying to come up with answers here. This is going to be the worst episode you've ever done. I know it, and it's all my fault.
Well, top 10, I can tell right now.
Top 10.
Give me another movie, man. Give me another movie. I need at
least three. Okay. I also enjoyed. I watched the Halloween Kills again. That was fun.
Oh, actually, you've rewatched it. Okay.
Yeah, I've rewatched. I enjoyed it.
What Yeah, let's have a debate about this now.
Okay.
What? So you liked it? So you're okay with the way they went with it?
I was okay with it. It felt a little like I wasn't gonna like it, and then I kind of got what they were going for. I kind of picked up what they were laying down as far as narrative, and I thought that it was. I thought that it was good. It entertained me, and it was something that made me. Think that it was different from the rest of the formulaic Halloween movies. You know what I mean? I just thought, and people say, things are formulaic because that works. The formula works, and it's a horror and it's a slasher. But this is like supposed to be it's supposed to be. This is it. So to change it around a bit, I thought was a fun way to kind of fuck with people, and it looked like it worked.
Hey, listen. So my problem with it is I don't hate it like some. Some really love it. Like it's a very polarizing movie. I feel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My problem is that it almost feels like it's made by someone different than the guy that made the second one and the first one. Like it felt like, because I don't know, I don't think the lore makes sense as to where they left off to where they continue. It feels like they're just kind of doing whatever they feel to do. They felt like they did something different to do something different, and they're still also trying to like shoehorn in the original Michael, and it ends up just being kind of a mixed pie for me.
I get that, and that's I kind of felt that way a little bit when I was watching it. But the explanation of I was okay with Michael hanging out in the sewer for 4 years, because where the hell else is he gonna go? He's an old man who was fucking messed up, and obviously
was he though? I don't know. Last time we saw him, he's murdering 12 people in the alley.
Right, like, and at the end of it, though, but he couldn't eat.
Now all of a sudden he feels weak.
Dying.
Nope. I did.
Corey,
I only have one fight in me.
How else was Corey gonna become the killer that he was meant to be?
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like and then they all of a sudden were like, "Here's your new main character," in the middle of the end of a trilogy. Like Corey could have been a really interesting like fifth movie or fourth movie rather. You know what I mean? Instead, it was just like, "Wait, what?" Oh,
I will admit that there are some things that are a little convoluted in the story, but as a whole, though, I think it entertained me enough.
Here's this emo kid Corey. He's your main character all of a sudden. Never seen him before. Now he's your main dude. This guy,
but he's the killer now. It kind of felt, it kind of felt like they almost went the Rob Zombie route from his first Halloween remake. You made the wrong decision there. Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, in particular, is like, they tried to make it the kid that got picked on all the time. Now he wants to be a murderer.
Yeah.
It was interesting, the parallel.
Do you like the Rob Zombie movies?
I like the first one.
I hate you so much, right?
I like the first one. I don't like it a lot. I don't watch it often, but I like it. I don't like the second one, though. The second one was weird. Yeah, well, man. I
hate those Rob Zombie movies. I'm in the super minority where I actually prefer the second one.
See, I know people like that, and I don't.
My logic, I'm not saying it makes sense, but my logic is the first one's so bad that my expectations are so low that I actually like the second one more, because I was like, all right, now I know I'm going in for trash, and at least I'm getting what I expected. And Malcolm McDowell's evil, and all of a sudden he's
that threw me the fuck off. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's a weird character decision. But at that point, though, I'm like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Go.
Whatever happening.
Choose some scenery,
a pale horse and a ghost mom. Okay.
Yeah. Plus, Zombie was like, whatever. I'm gonna throw this into there, and I was
like, I gotta get my wife in this movie somehow. She got killed in the first one.
How am I gonna get that payday, baby? Yeah, sure. Movie that payday.
Yeah.
She don't work outside of my own movies. Corey, Jordan, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I hope that in 5 years I am calling as many professional wrestling matches as I can for as many professional wrestling companies that I can, while also having a lovely, happy life with my future wife, Summer, and my son, Danny, and people that I love, doing things I love, and especially being with my good friend Jordan Pierce Owens, who, by the way, shares a middle name with me. I bet y'all there's a little hot tip for everybody. I got the same middle name as Jordan.
Wait, the tip for everybody, including Jordan. We've never talked.
You never knew that? Yes,
we've never talked about.
We have.
Your Corey Pierce last name?
I'm Corey. You can say my last name. I'm Corey.
Oh,
Pierce.
I didn't know. Everyone's different.
That's fine. No, I'm cool.
Yayward? How do you say your last name?
it's Eward.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't even know that either.
Yeah,
I never say
Corey
it.
C4. Yeah. I'm Corey Pierce Eward. My middle name is Pierce. Yeah.
There's no way we've talked about this before. You have hidden this from me.
Absolutely was a way, because I was like, holy shit, your middle name is Pierce. Why wouldn't I say it?
Probably.
I think you have
I also
dismissed it from your memory.
Yeah.
And
But that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. See, we were meant to be.
That's where all the Pierces come from. The Pierce Co, Pierce Productions. Yeah.
It's pretty neat. I like that, and I thought it was a nice little thing for our friendship and our partnership.
And that way, when we start our tag team, with the Pierces.
The Pierces, that's right.
Yeah. Because Corey Pierce, that's a decent name. And then Jordan Pierce, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do a little bit of a role play,
Okay.
Corey.
Right.
It's the show just ended, and you feel a little tug at your shirt, and it's a kid, and you go, "Hey, Mister, I love your commentary on YouTube. I want to be the voice of a company one day." What advice do you give somebody that wants to enter the world of pro wrestling commentary?
I would ask them to. I would say first, thank you so much for coming up and asking me. I hope you.
Do you know where Jordan is? I'm a big fan of his. Is he anywhere around?
Jordan's in Arizona now, dude. I'm sorry. But no, I would say first and foremost, do something that I haven't been able to do, and maybe go to college with a communications degree, because that'll probably help you get into things a little easier than having to beg someone to get on a commentary sometimes. But that works too sometimes, though. I think that if it's something that you really want to do, like broadcasting or commentary, you should probably have a little bit of a decent knowledge of how to speak in front of people. Having being able to, public speaking is a big important thing, because you don't want to trip over your words too much or ramble on too much like I'm doing now. But I would practice. I would call matches on your DVDs or your streamers or wherever you're watching.
The VHSs.
Just press mute and commentate and practice that way. That's how I was doing. I had a podcast for a few years, and I would sometimes put on matches on the WWE Network at the time, and I would commentate over it and be like, okay, you can start up the match at this time, and you'll have my commentary for it. And so that's kind of how I started practicing, to just kind of get the flow of it, and then I ended up working with you, and have learned a lot from working with you and everyone else that I've worked with. As far as letting people, get their words in and not stepping all over their shit all the time.
Just like wrestling.
Exactly.
Get their shit in, but
yep.
It's a dance.
It is very much a dance.
So I know any plugs that you mentioned was May 2nd, right?
That's right. May 2nd, we got Riverside, our first show back at Riverside. And how many? It's been years now. Huh?
It's been a while. Yes.
It's been a long time. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that. The last time I was at Riverside, I wasn't even in the company yet. I was just a fan watching. And so this will be my first time at Riverside as part of Real Pro. So I'm really looking forward to that. I know that Real Pro is going to be part of the Smizak Down on 420 in Orlando. So if you're in Orlando, go support Real Pro and DMC's work that he is putting in, hard work. Sorry to hear that he got a little injured recently, so that's a bummer. But I wish him luck, and everybody else good luck on Thursday at that. So
it's really a bummer. He's supposed to be on May 2nd.
Yeah, I know. But we always want our guys to make sure they're healthy. So get well, DMC. I know you'll come back stronger than ever, my friend. But I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, I'm thinking of possibly maybe starting another podcast again, or two. Who knows? I know I want to do one with Summer. Summer and I are thinking of ways to do something. Yeah. And I've floated you the idea of doing one too. And you're like, yeah, let's do it. And so I think you and I might put something together. And yeah. So other than that, not much else going on other than, enjoying my life as best as I can right now.
All right. Let's announce a date, Corey. We got to put our feet to the fire.
Okay. You want to? Okay. Well, should I give spoilers on your location whereabouts here in the next couple of, or is that not
We'll just
allowed?
hold off on that. I don't
Okay.
know.
Anyway, nothing. I don't know what you're talking. What? Come on. I don't know. Anyway, we'll probably be able to get something done between now and let's say the end of June. I'm sure we'll be able to put at least the first pilot episode
All
out
right.
at some point.
And that gives us plenty of time.
That gives us plenty of time. Exactly. I don't want
2024.
Man, you said it was going to be a week and a half from now, and here we are.
Oh no, that's too little. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I'm hopefully going to be starting to do that again. But I just want to do the best I can for Real Pro, and I want to do the best I can for any promotion I'm working in. So you can book me if you want me to do your commentary on book Corey C4 at gmail.com.
There you go. Hit up that email now. Do it while you can, and you're cheap enough. Any last words, Corey, for the podcast?
What's that?
Nothing. For any parting words?
Yes, I want to thank you again, Jordan. I really do love you very much, my friend. You're one of my dearest friends. I know people will listen to us on commentary and we give each other shit because that's what we're supposed to do. But I love you very much, and you're one of my dearest friends in the whole world. And I thank you for letting me. You really were the door opening for me to get into something that I've been dreaming about my whole life. So thank you for that. And I love you for it. And thank you to Zach and everybody at Real Pro and everyone who's been allowing me, Dax, everybody who's allowed me to do this. It really is. As a kid, I grew up wanting to be a pro wrestler. If I was an able-bodied man, I'd be in that ring right now. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way for me in my life. But I always knew I was going to be in some way involved in professional wrestling. And this is one of the best ways I could imagine. So thank you. Thank you all the fans of Real Pro and everybody else out there who listens and watches and keeps coming back. We all work our asses off for you. So I hope you are enjoying it as much as we are.
Very lovely, very lovely. Corey, I love you too, my brother. Thank you for being here. Like and subscribe and all the things, and his endeavors are endeavors. And we love you more than you'll ever know.